you can hear me and see me okay. I thought it was better that I give you another video quickly because my makes are starting to build up a little bit. So I just thought, before it just gets out of control and my videos are too long, I just better bring a video quickly. So I was hoping to, I literally film these and upload them straight away because I don't edit them or anything. I just literally film on my phone and then I upload it onto YouTube. So I thought that I'd be filming a little bit earlier. Like it's basically 11:30 now, so I kind of want to stop for lunch, so it might make me hurry up. But the reason I've started filming a bit late is because it's incredible, really. I ordered something from Dunelm last night, and it's arrived at 11:15. So I just can't believe it. So I think that's incredible. Like I did pay next day delivery, but I only paid £1 extra for the next day delivery, and I didn't think it would. Even though I paid it, I thought it would probably come tomorrow because it was after a certain time, but it still came. So that's why I'm filming this now. So I'll try and remember everything that I want to show you. There was something exciting. I picked up a new magazine, and it's the So Inspired. Actually, somebody tagged me on Facebook and they showed me something that I'd be interested in here, so I had to buy it, and you'll understand why. And on page 53, so this is So Inspired, issue 19, and on page 53 we have a little star. Can you see that here? That is Rafe, my dog, in the bed that I made in there, and it's in the Reader's Makes, in the Sew and Tell. So that was a lovely surprise. A little Rafe is famous, bless him, and I have got him here today because I've stuck some stuff in his chair. He's just hunting around for it. So you little superstar, right, Rafe? So that was exciting. And actually I got a lovely mention from Vicky off Sewing Street. I know I've mentioned Sewing Quarters closed down, but there's now a channel called Sewing Street. It's a lot of the same people, and I did message it and I got a lovely mention. So I've shared that on Instagram this morning and on Facebook, and I haven't shared this yet. I got a little mention of John Scott as well on the Crafter's Companion. I got a little mention on there, and he says, because they know me as Claire who makes things, so yeah, I got a little mention of him, so I'll try and find that and I'll share that. So that's like a little bit of some exciting things that have happened, things that I've been making. You may have seen that I've been making some shorts, and the pattern is actually Tilly and the Buttons Jessa trousers. Now, we'll admit, when this pattern came out and I saw those trousers, I didn't really think I'd make those or wear them. I'm going to be 40 this year, so I've seen a lot of fashions come and go, and I used to wear these trousers. Like, I think Tilly's quite a bit younger than I am, and so yeah, I thought, oh no, so I wasn't interested in it. But then, because I go on Instagram and I'm kind of looking around at dressmaking patterns, and I saw some like people in these gorgeous shorts, so I looked what pattern, and it was these. So you can make them into shorts, and you can do them slightly differently. So basically, I have made Tilly's patterns before, and based on my measurements, I kind of measure up all different. If you do your bust, waist and hip, I could be like 3 different sizes. So I tend to measure under my bust, get that measurement, and then I make a full bust adjustment, and that tends to work better for me. And then, and if it's separate, it's even better, because then I can have a different one down here. So yeah, so I thought I'd go, well, I measured up at a size, so I thought, yeah, that'll be fine. But they were huge. Basically, I thought I'd make a toile. A toile is basically a practice garment. You just get it for, for the fit. But what I thought I'd do is, because I was so convinced these were going to fit, I thought I'll make them wearable. So I actually, we're putting the pockets on, doing them like you should, you would if you were going to wear them. So so here they are. But they're not. I have not finished them off because they don't fit me. But they're absolutely massive. Like if you look here, there's all pins because I just pinned the cuff up because obviously I'm not going to finish them because they're absolutely pointless. But I put the big pockets on the front. You do have, I didn't bother putting any hook and loops and buttons on because obviously I'm not going to wear them. It's got a zipped front, and there you go. So that was those, but I really wanted the shorts, so I thought, do you know what, these are that big, I don't think I could adjust them down, and I probably will do that. I'll probably unpick all these and take them down so I can actually wear them, but I just thought, well, I'll just put those aside, I'll cut out another pair and but a whole size smaller, which I knew was a bit of a risk because based on my measurements, you know, I probably wouldn't have been that size, but actually I was, and I did make some adjustments. So in the pattern you can, there's a line going across here where you can shorten or lengthen the body part, but I suppose in doing that you make them a bit shorter, that's what I wanted. So I reduced the length of the body an inch on the place that you can do that, just 1 inch, and then I took off, I basically measured up 1 inch up from the outer edge of the shorts, and was it half an inch? And I think half an inch I measured up on the other side, and I drew a line. So basically, if you imagine that's my inner thighs, the shorts then would go slightly up like that, just a little bit. So I did that on the pattern. It was a bit of a risk because it was a printed pattern and I didn't trace it, so if I mess about with it, that's it, I'm stuck with it unless I buy the pattern again. But I took the risk and that's what I did. So I've made another pair. The only thing I haven't done to finish them is the hook. You can have 2 hook and loops, but I actually want a button on mine, so I've put the 1 hook and loop, and I just need to get a button and make a buttonhole. But that is what they look like now. So they're open, actually, I should close them. So this time I didn't put the 2 big pockets on the front, I put the pretend flap. And actually, do you remember me showing you I got some little heart buttons in my Mandy Shaw calendar? That's out of there, and those big pockets that I'd put on the front of the other shorts, this time I put on the back. You can do that, it's not my idea or anything, but yeah, so they're on the back and they fit lovely actually. So it's just basically finishing off getting the button, and actually, like I was really pleased when I showed my husband. He said that they're probably the best shorts he's ever seen me in. He said he's never seen shorts that fit me as well, so that was a compliment, because normally I don't know what use the sewers are like that make clothes. He often doesn't like things. He says, oh, that looks a bit 80s, or that looks a bit this, that looks a bit so, you know. So to get a compliment out of my husband about something I'd made to wear was really nice actually. So what else have I got to say about that? Oh right, so the one thing that I didn't think about is, like, with all other sewing, I generally, it doesn't matter if the zip is long, or just sew over it, but you do have to be a little bit careful with the metal zips. So I thought I'd order the correct size zip, and I got these lovely zips from the Wool Warehouse, and but because I reduced the pattern up an inch, the zip then was 1 inch too long. So I just raided my stash, and I got a zip out of it, but the only thing is the zip did get stuck, because I think these zips might be either they're new and very old, or they're second hand, I'm not sure. And actually a couple of the teeth have fallen off, look. I don't know if you can see it, so it's a bit gutty when you've made a garment, and it's a lot of work doing a zip fly, but as it happens, the zip does work. So, but you know, if it breaks altogether, I will be a bit gutted, but I could repair it, but as long as it keeps me going for a bit. And I do plan on making another pair of shorts. They're in a stretch denim, because those are all woven and things. Actually, the first shorts, they were a bit tricky to make because you couldn't iron this. Oh, my husband's popping out. I just wonder where he's going. I couldn't iron this because it would go shiny, so I did iron from the back, but it made it tricky to work with. So when I worked with this denim, because that was the fabric that had been given to me, I bought this denim from Hobbycraft, and this was just an absolute dream to work with because you could press it lovely. So yeah, I was really pleased about that. So the other thing I didn't bear in mind when I reduced the pattern up by an inch is the zip. I wonder if I can get one of the pattern pieces out actually. The pieces that you use for the zip, they've also got that, can you see that? See that line there? They've also got a shorter line. So those pieces, those other two pieces, I should have shortened those by an inch as well. So, but what I ended up doing, because it's a straight piece, when I'd cut my fabric off, I just cut an inch off the top, and it worked out okay. So, yeah, so that's that with the shorts. I'm definitely really enjoying getting back into dressmaking, but I wanted to make something that wasn't dressmaking and then go back to dressmaking. So the next, so while this has been going on, I have been doing my red work. So I have completed another block, but I haven't shared this anywhere because of the shape of it. It doesn't photograph very well because I tend to post on Instagram and then it sends it to my Facebook craft page. They're all square, so that it doesn't share it very well actually because it's such a long rectangle. But here it is. Here's my next red work block that I've completed, and basically I've already done one of these musical ones in this shape, and that one goes at the top, will go at the top of the quilt, and this one will go at the bottom. So that's another one, because my promise to myself is that I'll complete one of these blocks every month. So I did finish this in February. It was at the later end of February because if you remember, I was knitting my little fisherman, so that took up time. So I'm in the same position again because I've started my next one that I plan to do this month for March, but I'm also knitting, so I have to kind of divide myself up between it. Now I did show you the hat had started. It's from the current Molly Makes magazine, and when I showed you, I'd literally just got a little tiny bit, so I have got a little bit more, and I've got it here. I've got to be careful that I don't start dropping stitches, but this is where I am now. Basically I've done quite a bit more. That's a like a cuff bit, like a headband that folds over. So that is where I'm at now, and it's a lovely print. How you work it, basically, it's colour work. I've lost one, dropped one of my the green ball down there. It's colour work that you work between the green and the black, but then you'll use pink and you'll darn in the pink after. Like, I think it's called Swiss darning. I don't know this. I did know the name, but I forgot it now. So oh yeah, I'm really excited about that hat. So I'm kind of dividing my evening time when I'm sitting around between my hats and my stitching. Like that, I need to concentrate on quite a bit because you've got to make sure that you're getting the print right. So I'll try and do that more when I'm on my own. Oh, and another thing that I've been hand stitching, oh gosh, I heard it fall, is I've showed you this in a previous video before. This is a birthday banner that I made, and I've made many of these things. Look, I've got a 16, 15, 7, 11, 12, and the first birthday I did this for was a 7th birthday, and the intention was always to make sure when it's my boys' birthdays, they've always got their age, but we don't do this so much now, but we had been going away a lot when it was my eldest son's birthday, so we were never here to put this out anyway. So often I've had to make an age for my middle son, and then but I've noticed I've not been consistent. There's been times I've missed birthdays out, but the stage that I'm at now, I'd say the last couple of years, I'm not missing a birthday. I'm making sure I've got one each time. So even though my youngest son is going to turn 13 this month, but I didn't have a 13 block from the other two boys, so I've had to stitch that. And actually this, I remember now, somebody was asking me about this. This was from a book that I picked up in Aldi. It was quite, it didn't really inspire me a lot actually, and I think I got cracking with this straight away. But I don't actually know where the book is now. So when I I've made that many of them. I just have to make them up as I go along, and I had to draw those out and draw. Like there's my piece that I've had to draw, and I just work out where the buttons are. And actually what I do love about doing these is my most modern machines are like a one-step buttonhole, and you know that you with a one-step buttonhole, they're quite clever. You put your button in the button holder, put it in your sewing machine, put it on the sewing setting, and it will do the buttonhole to match the size of the button that you've put in the holder. But the only downside I find to this is you can't fit buttons over a certain size in them, so they'll only go up to a certain size. And I've also had buttons pop out while I've been using the button thing, and it's just carried on. And another thing I've had it jam. So actually when I do a lot of buttonholes, especially on thick items like this, because this is 2 layers of felt, these little squares, I actually get my old Toyota machine out that I've had since 2003, and my mum bought it for me. My eldest son was born in 2003 in the May, and that Christmas my mum bought me my first proper adult sewing machine, because I'd only ever used a child one up until that point, and I'd left that at home. And yeah, I like getting that out because it's a 5-step buttonhole, and even though you might think, oh my goodness, a 5-step buttonhole, I like that control. I like to measure out, and I like that control of that, so I prefer to do that. So that's another thing I've been doing, but I've not shared that. I might share that when it's my son's birthday. Another thing I've been doing that you might have seen, and I've really loved making this, and it's I bought it as a kit on a Chanda TV, and I've not seen this designer before. Well, I thought I hadn't, but it turns out I've seen a design of theirs before that Sewing Quarter, when they was on, was selling, but I didn't buy it because sometimes, you know, you're not in the mood for a certain kind of make or something, so but I didn't buy them. But I'd never seen this before, and actually I did get 3 things from them, but I've only made 1 so far, and here is one of them. And I think that the pattern, I'll show you the pattern in a minute, but I've named him Thimble, and it's got a lovely little jacket, and you can take that off. He's got a lovely belly. He's got lovely. I think he looks very 60s. Obviously, I wasn't around in the 60s, but I think he looks very 60s. And actually, I really loved making him. And he's got a lovely little bone on his collar. And yeah, he was a lot of fun. Like, I wouldn't advise, if someone who's never made toys, I wouldn't advise someone who's never made toys to make him, because of, like, you know, the gussets and things. And if you, like, I'm sorry, is this a bit rude? There's a lot going on down here. There's all these, like, darts and things, right? So, but yeah, but if you know me, I've made a lot of toys. And actually, there was these unusual darts, and I thought to myself, I've seen it, you've done these darts before, but I can't think what I would have done them on. And I thought, I'm having deja vu or something. But it turns out, I think, do you know that if you watch my Mother's Day video last year, I made a fabric dog for my mum, and it was meant to be a Scotty dog in like normal cottons, but I'd made it in a fluffy fabric, and it looked like a West Highland Terrier, because that's what my mum's got, a West Highland Terrier. And I think that's where I've used these funny darts, but it's been a whole year. I think that was the first time I'd done those kind of oval darts. And yeah, so I just forgot what I'd done it on, but I had done them. So he's lovely, but he is a she, but I'm having him as a he. He is a Thimble. He's Thimble dog, boy dog in my eyes. I'll put him there so you can keep seeing, and I'll show you the box that he came in. Oh, I've got all my embroidery. That's how I keep my embroidery threads, by the way. That's what I get out when I'm doing all these things. So that was that. I've done with all those pieces actually. Imagine I lost all those numbers. Right, oh there they are. I'll put those with the embroideries. So the thimble dog is actually called Sally the Sausage Dog, and it came in this box, and the designer is Thimblewood, and yeah, and they was on agenda. Michelle Goodfield is the designer. So I've kept that box to show yous. I've got nothing in it now, I've got no need for it, but I've put my pattern and all my pattern pieces in there, so if I want to make another one or anything, so that's so I can get rid of that box now. I'm just thinking, is there anything else I need to show you? Oh yeah, there's a couple of things I can show. Actually, do you know I've been making pants? Oh gosh, I made 2 pairs of pants, and I think I showed you them in the last video, obviously not wearing them, and I can't find them. I was so excited about the ones that I'd made out of the super dry vest, and I've shown them here. Oh my goodness, right, I have been looking everywhere for these, because what it is, where I'm sitting now, I don't actually craft. I've got like basically these are like IKEA Kallax things, and I've also got IKEA Kallax in front of me that my husband basically put 2 big ones. Do you know you can get them in a 4x2 square? I've got 2 of those that my husband attached together, put on wheels, and put a tabletop on, and this is my cutting desk. So I don't actually craft here. I craft over there because my sewing machine and everything's over there, but I film here, but I do delve down here just to get things, and guess what? I've shoved them here. So I've been ever so upset. I've been going crazy saying to my husband, I've made these pants out of old t-shirts of mine, and I can't find them, and it's been driving me crazy, and I've just found them, unstuffed them here, and I looked down here, and I was blaming you last night. If I hadn't showed them on that video, I would know where they are. No, I don't mean it, I love you really, honestly. So I'll put them there this time, I'll try not to forget them, but because I was a bit distraught about it, I was seeing if there was anything else I could make pants out of, and I've got this lovely army boob tube, right, and I really loved it. It really suited me, but it's gone a bit like tatty looking really for a top, so I think I'm gonna cut it up, get a pattern out of it so I can remake it. Like, I don't know if I'd like it in any other fabric. I think it might be because it was the army print, but with the fabric, because it's really stretchy and it's cotton, I'm gonna make some more pants. I'm gonna have some really nice cool army pants. Like, I've never had any on. My husband and boys have had them, but I'm gonna have some, which is quite exciting. So more pants are on the agenda now. I have started some more dressmaking related things, which I'll tell you about in a minute, but I picked up these folders. You get 5 in a pack, and I got 2 packs. I think they were £2 each from Tesco. And what I'm going to do is, when I buy, or I've got a dressmaking pattern and I've got the fabric in mind, I'm going to put them in here and put a label on it so I know that fabric, because I've done that before. I've bought fabric. I crocheted ages ago this really lovely bobble cushion. The whole thing was bobbles. It was all in cotton, really fine. Took me an age to make, and I bought the fabric back in, and then I ended up using it for something else, and then it's ended up being a UFO, and I've never done anything with it. So I should look at that again, really. So that's what that's all about. Things that I bought, that delivery I was on about from the range. It was. Didn't say Dunham, did I? It was the range that I bought it from. Do you know I was showing you all my sewing themed mugs? Well, actually, I've bought another one, haven't I? I haven't got it yet. John Scott, that was on Sewing Court, obviously he was without a job. He's gone on to Crafters Companion TV now, and he's got his own show, and he's released a new mug. And I will say, it's not the kind of mug I like. Do you know, there's a real bog standard mugs that you'd get in your Easter egg or something, could like a bit cheap. Sorry, John, right? It's that kind of shape. But I just wanted it because it was like John Scott. I've got to have it. And actually, those style of mugs that we've got, do you know, like when you get like a football one in Sports Direct, whatever, that kind of shape, they're perfect for portioning crisps, because I buy a lot of sharing bags of crisps, fancy crisps, because we love crisps in our house. So I kind of see a mug, one of those size mugs, a portion of crisps. So we actually use those style mugs. So John Scott, I think your mug's going to be a crisp mug in our house, and I think it could be my one, or I might give it my husband mine too. But there you go, he's John Scott. So because my mug collection is building up, I've ordered a mug tree. Now I'm going to try and get this now. Can you imagine now if I dropped this? I'd be absolutely gutted. This is what I got. Can you see? It's got I'm mad about hearts, and it's actually got hearts at the bottom. So it's all my craft and sewing theme mugs that I keep in my craft room. So that's quite exciting. I ordered some bobbins, some universal bobbins for my sewing machine, because I'm really getting through them at the moment, filling them up with different colours and things. And I actually ordered the matching, well, I didn't know it was matching when I ordered it, but when I looked at my order at the end, I didn't realise. I just thought, there had to be hearts and white, but they had the same label, so they're from the same people. And it's actually a fruit basket, but I'm going to be using it in my craft room. I'm not going to be putting real fruit in it, so I might even make fabric and knitted and crochet fruit in it, or might display fabric in it. I don't know yet, but that's for my craft room. And the other thing I bought was for my husband. And what it is, when it was coming up to Valentine's Day, this was something I considered buying him, but if you saw, I did him a big hamper and he'd got loads of stuff, really loads, and I thought, do you know what, it's just too much, maybe I'll get it next time. But when I was looking for those last night, the thing I was going to buy, I thought about buying him, popped up, and I thought, and I showed him, I said, would you have liked that? And he said, yeah, because what it is, I'm a bit naughty really. He bought himself a little footstool. It's white and grey chevrons to go at his side of the bed, because he hasn't got room for a little like bedside cabinet because of the space and his wardrobe. So he's got his plug and he just puts his phone on the floor and things, and he can't have a lamp or anything. And so he bought that, and it was perfect because you could still open the wardrobe door. It was a place to put his things. But what happened? I loved it, didn't I? And I ended up using it, and I've got it next to my dressing table where I get ready. And I made an iPad stand years ago, and I put my iPad on, and I watch things on my iPad while I'm getting ready. And like, if I haven't got it, it's a massive loss to me, because I do like sitting there watching it. So I thought it's only fair I replace it, and this is why I was thinking Valentine's Day. And it's grey, which goes in our bedroom. It's crushed velvet, and he loves crushed velvet. Actually, when we go around shops and about his taste, I think pimp. He looks at things, I think pimp looking taste. But is that a bit of a man thing? But I think he does like his crushed velvet. But I do like crushed velvet. Actually, I'd love to make a figure skating dress in crushed velvet, like a stretch crushed velvet. I've made a figure skating dress once before for a competition last year, but actually my coach wants me to go in another competition this year, because last year it was a spin spiral jump competition. This one will be one where you do your routine, and you skate all over the ice doing your jumps and your spins and like a routine and a step sequence and things. But actually I was supposed to be ice skating last week. Hello, Rafe. Ice skating last week, and my back went on Wednesday evening, and I was just sitting by my sewing machine. I wasn't sewing anything. I had been sewing. My back just went. It was like a trapped nerve, and I was so bad with it. And you know what? This is the first day today I haven't taken any painkillers, and I haven't been ice skating since. So I don't know how I'm going to be when I go ice skating, and if it's going to hinder me, if it's going to put me out of the competition. I don't know, but I'd really like to. I could re-wear the dress I made last time, but I would like to make another one. But and it would be lovely in crushed velvet. But going back to this, you know what I'm like, and I'm not doing too bad of a time with the way I'm ploughing through things. This is it. This is is the little stool. So that's going to go at the side of his bed. And I don't know if you've watched my other videos, but I'm in a lampshade club where I do different styles of lampshades with Mandy Shaw, and I've ordered another lamp stand, the bobbin one. Like he did say, oh, I don't know if that kind of antique thing is my kind of look, and I said, well, don't worry about it, because it's a really lovely light in the bedroom, because I've got one on the dressing table. And I said, don't worry about it, if you don't like it. I love these bobbin things, and they're my kind of taste, so I can always put it in my craft room, and I'll get you another one. And actually I've seen a nice one with like a heart and things, so I might get him a new lamp at some point as well. But for now, like the one from Mandy hasn't come yet, so temporarily you can have one of my handmade lampshades on the Mandy Shaw bobbin holder on it and things, but in time I'll probably change it to something more his tastes. So that's and that's everything I'd ordered from the range. While I was looking for my pants, I actually found something I was intending to show you before. Now you may know that I've had a Cricut Explore machine for years, and I've had like electrical cutters things before, but I don't really rate them much with fabric. I think after the blades go blunt quick, and then you make a mess of your fabric. So when I bought my Cricut Explore, I actually just thought, this is for paper craft. Even though you can do fabric, I'll just stick to paper craft. Now they have got a new machine now called the Maker, and it's got a rotary blade, but I don't do fabric on mine, even though you supposedly can, but I've never done it. I've just used it for paper and vinyl. So at Christmas, everybody's got like, stockings, but for gifts like for my parents and everything, I bought these bags from the range, these Hessian bags, and they had got like a little MDF star hanging off it, and I got gold vinyl, and I cut everybody's name. So I actually didn't put mum or dad, I actually put my parents' names, because if you get something with mum or dad, you could have bought it, couldn't you? But it's more likely, it's more personal. I actually put like James, my dad's name on it. Like everyone calls him Jim, but I just thought, maybe you'll like something with James. But I did one for the dogs, and I filled this up. They've got stockings as well, but I haven't actually given them all their things out of it yet. And actually, this was a gift from my mum's West Highland Terrier to my dogs, and I've thrown that in there. These are cute. I got these from Pets at Home. My Holly, my other chihuahua, my white one, that you rarely see, because it's not because favouritism or I love Rafe more or anything, because I love them equally, but he plays up really to come in here. Actually, when I was setting up, it's like he knows. It's like he knows I'm going to be doing a video, and he starts whining at the door. So but Holly absolutely loves these little tiny tennis balls. Like you can see, they're small because obviously they're chihuahuas, but they're meant to be sprouts, 6 small ball sprouts, and I'm mad for sprouts. Actually, I had sprouts last night. I cooked a roast because I managed to pick up a piece of beef in the sale from the co-op. Originally it was £5, and I got it for £1.18, and I just stuck it in the freezer for when I was ready. So I defrosted it. So I did sprouts and carrots and broccoli, and you know what I did? I was saying to my husband last night, I really enjoyed having all that veg, and I went, the broccoli, and he said, what? And they went, did you forget to cook it? I said, no, I cooked it. I did it, I cooked it. And I've got like a metal steamer that you put on the hob. I've got an electric one, but I'd use the metal one. And I'd only cooked the broccoli and didn't give it to anybody. So basically, I've put it in a tub. I've got one of these tubs that you can suck the air out of it, and I've stuck it in the fridge. So what I'm going to do, the boys tonight, I think I'm going to do them a bit of like a rice stir fry. So stir fry some rice. My eldest wants peas in it, probably put some chicken in it, bit of soy, a bit of a rice stir fry for dinner tonight with broccoli in it. So but that basically what I was on about, I'd run out of gold by the time I got to the dogs, but the gold looked absolutely beautiful on these bags. And And actually what I really like is that you can see the contents inside. So what for my parents, I use them for the Christmas gifts, but for my children, I put pyjamas and things and give them just before Christmas, and a thing of Pringles and bits and bobs, and that was lovely, and they were quite cheap as well, and that's that. I think now, looking around, I'm just, because I'm terrible every time I get, there's one more thing and no, I want to show you, but I'm just double checking there isn't anything, because sometimes well, all the time actually, I forget to show you things that I was planning on showing you. So the final thing, the next dress, I'm gonna have a little sip of this actually. All these sewing related mugs, and I'm using a St Ives one. Do you know St Ives in Cornwall? And my I Love Coffee, but actually the lady that makes them is a sewer, so it kind of makes up for that, doesn't it? So the next thing, I haven't actually cut out the fabric yet, and I am going to be using, if I've got enough, fabric that's been given to me that I don't think I like enough to make a garment with. Now, because of what happened with the shorts, and it's because this is a Tilly and the Buttons pattern, I thought, oh, what size am I going to go for? So I've measured up. And I've done all that. So I basically do measure up in the smallest. That's what I love about Tilly's patterns, is the size she goes to, I can get in, they fit me. Some patterns, even though if I was to go to shops, generally I'd buy an 8 in a shop. But when it comes to dressmaking, if I go for something that's an 8, it's often too big. And actually I made this is a tip actually, I might show you them in a future video. When I bought my first dress form, it was an adjustable one, adjuster form, and it was 8 something or other. So I bought it, and actually it's no good. It's good, I just use it for displaying things and whatever, but it's no good for me because actually I'm smaller than the dress form. So I actually did a survey, because I do love cooking as well, and I end up doing a lot of food surveys, and I actually won £100 Amazon voucher for doing a food survey, and for BBC Good Food, and I bought a new dress form, and actually she's that gorgeous. She's got all white with blue flowers. You might have seen her on my social media. At Claire Who Makes Things with underscores in between all the words, and Periwinkle Cottage Crafts on Facebook. You might have seen her. I call her Daisy, but the flowers aren't daisies. Actually, I put it up in my bedroom, and my husband said, I actually like that, it looks really nice. So we've kept it in the bedroom, so when I'm using her as a dress form, I just pop upstairs, and there is a point I'm getting out of this, but she's like smaller than me, but you can adjust it to my size. So I was a bit up in the air basically about what size, and this is what I'm making, and they're the Fifi pyjamas. Look, it's so bright. I don't know how. Can you see that drawing? You might have to look it up if you can't. There we go. It's a little camisole and little shorts. So what I decided to do, like I've had camisoles before in the past, and I've bought them in my size, and you know you've got that little triangle bit on your boob. What ends up happening when I buy a shop bought one, I end up with the triangle is like up here kind of thing. It just doesn't sit right, so obviously it's not my cup size, and so I cut out, to start with, the smallest cup size. Have I got all the pieces here? I don't know if I've got all. Oh yeah, I've got them. I cut out the smallest one first. I think I've labelled them. That's the 3. I haven't labelled that one, but I think that's it. First I cut out that one. Initially that's the one, and I've put the darts in on the pattern piece. I've traced this time. I've been a good girl, I've traced it, and I've pinned in the darts, and I put it up to me, and initially I thought, oh yeah, that'll be fine, but then I could see the side seam wasn't going to be in the right place, so I thought, no, I'll try the next one up. So the next one up is this one. So then I tried this one, and again I thought, oh great, but no, I thought no, so I went up again. So I've ended up cutting Tilly's patterns. They're in numbers, so basically a 1 is a 6, a 2 is an 8, 3's a 10. So I've cut the 10 size bust piece out, but then I didn't want to cut the size 10 body piece. So what I did, I traced off then the body piece, is this it, in the size 3, the 10. But what I did, I measured how wide the waist was on the one and made a mark, and I measured how far in the one came here. So basically, this top bit would be the 3, and I've drew a line down to where it would be if it was the size 1, and carried it down. So basically I've graded it, so hopefully it's a bit roomier in the bust, but it's going to be more tiny round here. And what I've done with all the other pieces, basically you have 2 back pieces and a centre piece, like you have is that the centre? Yeah, you cut the centre on the fold. I've cut all those out in the smallest size, so obviously until I've cut all the fabric out and sewed it all together, I don't know how that's going to work because I've made alterations to it. But do you know what, I'm going to try, and actually I'm feeling really positive about it. And I think if this, well, I would keep working on this till it works. Not that, oh, if it works, I'm going to get it till it works. And I don't think I'll buy a camisole set ever again. I think I'll just make them. So I think I'm getting to that point now with my dressmaking. You know, like I know I make a lot of stuff, but and I've only been making, say, a couple of 2-3 garments a year. But I'm trying to alternate now, so I'm always trying to have some hand stitching thing on the go and knitting and crochet. I've been looking at more crochet, so I've got to finish the hat first. Hello, hi Declan. This is my middle son. Are you after lunch? Yeah, I'm just finishing up now, darling, so I'll come and do your lunch, sweetheart, okay? I'd love to get my family on film, but I think there'd be too camera shy. But maybe I will. Maybe I'll get some of my kids on here. But you do wonder really a bit about like safety. But I know he doesn't go anywhere on his own. He's homeschooled. And he's got Asperger's and things, and even with my youngest, he gets dropped off, picked up, you know, he's never on his own. But my eldest, he's a bit older, like he'll be 17 in May, so you do kind of worry about putting their name next to their face kind of thing, don't you? Because you know, you do get some strange people. Like there was a man hanging around outside my house for hours the other day, and I've got one of these ring things that records, but what it is, I've put my old one on the back door and I've put the new one on the front door, and you basically you have to pay to have all the videos recorded. I'm just going to get Rafe out, and my subscription for my new one had expired, and I couldn't actually get any of the footage, and I thought, if anything happens, I've got no evidence of this man hanging around, and it really, like, I do suffer with a bit of anxiety, and it was really making me nervous. So yeah, it just made me worry a little bit. So but yeah, so sorry, I'm ending on a bit of a negative point. I've got the little famous Rafe here. So yeah, that's where I'm at the minute. So I'm going to continue with my hat, continue with my red work, continue with my Fifi camisole pyjama thing. Maybe wear my pants now I found them. Make some more pants, and I have ordered a crochet book. So I'm just thinking, have I ordered anything else? So yes, that's where I'm at the minute. So when I feel like I'm getting to a point I've got to think, oh gosh, I've got to show you some stuff, I'll bring you some stuff. So and there we, oh, and actually one more thing I wanted to show you. Well, sometimes when another thing I found when I was looking for the pants, I found a tape measure that I got from a knitting magazine. I think it was knitting, and I've never ever opened it or used it, and it's a badger. It's like an extendable one, and it's like a badger, and I've knitted a badger in the past. So this is what I've done. I just love looking at cute things in my craft room. So that's the tape measure, and that's the badger that I've knitted it. I'd love to tell you who the designer was, but it's been that long since I've knitted it. So I've just sat him down holding the little badger tape measure, so it just looks sort of sweet. He's sitting at the bottom of my little twiggy tree here, so he's lovely. So yeah, I've got all little knitted things that I've made and soft toy things all over the place because I just love them. Just like it's like a toy room really, isn't it? It's just an absolute playroom. So a poor family, you know, losing this room to me, but we are extending. So they're gonna have a boys' room, a playroom. So so that's where we are at the minute. So oh, and one more thing. Oh, I'm terrible, aren't I? Another thing that attracted me to this little fellow is that I thought he looked very similar size to Rafe, and I thought, do you remember I've mentioned before I'd love a dress form that was for a dog that was his size, and I thought they looked similar, but looking at them now, Rafe is quite a bit chunkier than Thimble actually, aren't you, darling? So yeah, but what I've decided to do is I'm going to dig out some old patterns. Another thing I'm going to do, dig out some old dog patterns that I've got that I know don't fit him, and the one pattern I reduced it by 2 inches and it fitted him, so I'm going to dig out some of the other old patterns that I've made for Holly and reduce those by 2 inches as well, and make some more little things for Rafe because he does feel the cold, bless him. So yeah, so that's where at the minute. So thank you so much for watching. I know I've actually when I started doing these videos I wasn't watching other YouTubers, but I have started watching some other YouTubers, and I think, gosh, my videos are so unprofessional. Like they I know that they edit they like put them through an edit, and they're really professional. They show pictures of things and put little videos up and little links and all this, and it does make me feel, it puts me off watching a little bit because it makes me feel a little bit inferior with my videos, but you know, you've just got to do what's right for you. This works well for me, and this is how I can get videos to you. So yeah, so I just film it on my phone and just upload it straight away, and my children laugh. They say, "Mum, you should check it," but you know what, I don't care. You have it as you have it, as long as you don't mind. And so thank you for watching my video. Thank you. Please give it a like if you like it. I've never asked for people to subscribe, but that option is if you've got an account. It's a free account. You can subscribe, so if I put a future video and you can see it again. So if you like this kind of content, then please subscribe. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon. Say bye, Rafe. Bye bye. Thank you. Bye.